Hey everybody, welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Scott, still at EGX in Birmingham, and I got to go hands-on with Starlink, Battle for Atlas, which is Ubisoft's kind of big old space game. And to be honest, after going hands-on with it, it's actually Destiny meets No Man's Sky. I thought it was going to be a more standard loot shooter type thing, or just a more arcadey shooter, but the gameplay build that we got given started out in space, and it controls and looks a lot like No Man's Sky. You kind of have the whole hyperdrive style thing. You can go down to planets, you can boost back off and go through clouds. It loads the world in and out the same way that Hello Games game does, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I don't know if this is the way that Ubisoft have gone forward with one of their tech demos that they had back when No Man's Sky was in development, but there's a lot of that game's roots in the way that this thing plays. Overall, I was extremely impressed. And when it comes to combat, that's where the toys to life stuff comes in, which you might have already seen about the game. Basically, you're putting together a toy spaceship in like real time or whatever with a bunch of little toys that you have in real life. You can bolt on like the main like body of the ship, which you use if you die, you replace the main body, and then you add different weapons. So that's like missile barrages or just basic cannons or different flamethrowers and things like that. You can just swap them out whenever you want, and you'll see the model inside the game change in time. I actually really like this. I think it encourages you to swap weapons on the fly, and it means that when you're coming up against different enemies, if they're fire-based or ice-based, you're swapping them out, like, you know, on the fly to take those things out when you need to. It's a nice little gameplay mechanic, and you can actually swap things out in the main menu if you can't be bothered to do stuff with the plastic toys in real life. I, though, being a massive weird nerd that collects things, loved doing that and loved swapping stuff out as much as possible. The game also comes with Star Fox implementation, which is fully licensed by Nintendo, so you've got the R-Wing ship and all the different weapons that we've used in the Star Fox games over the years, but in terms of how it handled, Star Fox's ship was nigh on identical to the rest of them, but it's still really tight, and that's really cool. In terms of mission design, the vast majority of the game is, like I said, kind of like Destiny, and that's where these comparisons start coming in. You're taking out like different nodes, you're trying to weaken this massive boss monster, and all the different numbers, damage values are popping off left, right, and center. That's when it starts to feel a lot like Destiny. You're swapping out your weapons and seeing which is doing the most damage, looking for crits, all that kind of stuff. It makes it extremely playable, and it means that you can just jump in, and it kind of encourages you to start getting used to and experimenting with the controls. This was the thing that kind of tripped us up when me and Jules had to go on one of the other builds on the Switch, because we didn't really know how to ground the craft, take back off, how to dogfight, how to do dodges and stuff like that. And once you get your head around that, once you realize that there are different ways to do boosts and different ways to take off and just make full use of your ship, that's when everything starts to click. I can't guarantee it's going to last the entire length of the game, depending on how long it is, but there is a fully voiced campaign with all sorts of animated characters and stuff like that, so it's quite promising. I actually really love the way that this thing plays, and, you know, ticking the box on the Toys for Life stuff is just something that, as a Disney Infinity fan or someone who ever, you know, liked Skylanders, it's good. It's a good step forward for stuff like this game. So I'm interested. I'm mostly quite excited, and I kind of hope that they bring it together in the long run. So yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Do you even care about plastic toys and ships and all that kind of stuff? Or are you just kind of wanting something that's a bit more gameplay intensive? Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.
I still think you look like an absolute tit holding the controller, though.